All right, just got cut off there for a second. Sorry about that. Our last problem here is about an application. So how can we apply this to real-world scenario? Faceplate of a portable game device has a plastic border around the square screen. So we have a square screen, 2 centimeters on the top and bottom. So that means that there's 2 here and 2 here, and 4 centimeters on the right and left. 4 and 4. So what we're saying is the whole thing here, the whole area is 60. So we need to figure out what would represent this and what would represent the length of this. Well, this is x. We say that this is x. This is supposed to be a square. So we're saying if I go from here to here, I'm going 2 plus x plus 2, and 4 and x and 4. So this side is x plus 8 centimeters, and this side is x plus 4 centimeters. When I multiply the height from the and the width, I'm going to get the area, 60. So now we need to figure out how can we solve this. Solving a problem like this is a quadratic equation because we're going to have an x times an x. We're going to have a squared. And we can use any of our methods to solve this. But to do that, we're going to have to multiply this out. So x squared plus 4x plus 8x plus 32. So I have x squared plus 4 plus 8 plus 12x plus 32 equals 60. And now I need to set everything equal to 0. So I have 32 minus 60, 28, minus 28 plus 12, and I have x squared. So we could do any number of things with this equation to solve it. Complete the square, quadratic formula, factor. Those are my options. I'm going to see if I can factor. So I think of factors of 28. I'm looking at, right, I've got a product of 28 and a sum of 12. This is negative 28. So I'm trying to find factors of 28 that are going to give me a difference of 12. So factors of 28, 1 and 28, 2 and 14, 3, 4, 4 and 7. And that's pretty much it. And look, 2 and 14. Though the difference of those is going to be 12. So I've got a positive 1 here, positive 12. So that must mean in our box that we've got a positive 14 and a negative 2. And our last one is negative 28, and our first one is x squared. So then I factor out an x from here, factor out a 14 from here, factor out a negative 2 from here, and factor out an x from here. So I factor this and I say x minus 2 times x plus 14 equals 0. So either x minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 14 equals 0. So add 2 to both sides, x equals 2, or subtract 14 from both sides, x equals negative 14. Okay, going back to our original, what is the length and width of the square screen? Well, the length and width are the same, x and x, so we're trying to figure out what does x equal. The length and width of a square screen cannot be negative 14 centimeters. So practically speaking, even though the function you could draw as a parabola, we're only dealing with positive numbers when we're talking about length and width. So it must be this. So x equals 2 centimeters. So there is our final answer. You should, if you use this process here, and you say, I'm going to use the quadratic formula, because you like how that always works for solving quadratic equations, you can. It's just kind of a big, long mess of square root, multiplying, and then you should come up with the same answers. And one more thing to point out here. Yes, we did use the box method twice. One way was to multiply, so we had to use the box to get a trinomial. Then once we subtracted the 60, we had it equal to 0, and then it was time to factor it. So we had to use the box to do it in the reverse. So yes, this kind of problem is box it to get everything not multiplied, set it equal to 0, and then unbox it to get it back into its factored form. All right. Hey, good luck on your test here. Encourage you, again, practice this to the point where you can do it without any hints. That should be your goal if you really want to do well in this test. And how can you practice that? Well, this video is there to help, but so are all your homework assignments, so is the opportunities for extra help, like lunch and herd time, and after-school tutoring with some of the other math teachers, and your Khan Academy exercises. So make sure you spend good time on those, and you'll be set to go.